What's this going to be like, you think? You've never done it before.
Yeah, I mean, just to compete all our lives and finally playing a game where we're actually wearing jerseys and competing against each other is going to be awesome. So, really excited.
How soon did you realize that honors? I mean, after you got drafted, that they actually were on the schedule for this season?
When the schedule released, whenever that was, I saw it, and obviously that was a game that kind of drew my eyes. So, I've been looking forward to this one.
When it came out immediately, were you guys
A little bit. I was obviously focused on being the kicker here, and he's proven himself. So I was focused on the job, but definitely looking forward to this. Yeah.
What did he share with you about just his experience and the way it started for him, and if you could learn anything from that?
Yeah, I think kind of January through the combine, we talked a lot, just the process and just not doing too much, not trying to do too much, and just staying within what I do, my journey. And then, since I've gotten here, it's just kind of a weekly conversation, how we're kicking this week, how the fam's doing for him, and just checking in more so.
Is that right that you guys as a family have not all been together since your wedding?
Most likely, yeah. Honestly, yeah.
And that
We're spread out, so.
When was that?
That was not this June, but last June. Yeah.
Do you anticipate your family will do a split jersey like you see a lot of families?
We'll see. I know they've been looking to make up some T-shirts too or something. I'm not in that group chat, so it'll be a surprise for me.
And your brother's coming in from Sweden.
He is, yeah, my oldest brother. So really excited to see him.
It's just the three of you, correct?
Yes, sir. Yeah. His name's Niels. It's a good Swedish name, just like mine. So Nils. Yep.
He's got a little boy, is that right?
He's got two. One doesn't have a passport. One does. So the one with the passport gets to make the trip. So.
What's your relationship with Daniel? You kind of looked up to him all your life, and just going through similar experiences, both being kickers and now being kickers at the highest level. Like, how was that growing up and going through all these transitions together?
Yeah, I mean, he was always, 4 years older, so he's beating me up. I was physically looking up to him, but I think now being on the same level, being the same height, me being a little stronger than him too, so that plays into it. But it's more of a good friendship now, and we're still brothers, obviously, but we're kind of on the same level, going through the same things week by week.
Was the only time you were ever on the same team was the year you redshirted?
Yeah, yes, sir.
In high school, never.
No.
You were in 8th grade and he was a senior.
Yeah, exactly, yes, sir.
Have you been to his NFL games before, and is it weird that now you guys are in it together?
Yeah, I actually went to a game in Vegas last year. So Auburn was done with their season, and we skipped out there for a game, and a year later we're going to play, so it's pretty exciting.
Important thing that he's taught you, whether it be point your toe or just how to kind of handle this?
I think the most important thing he's talked about is this mentality of picking out what you want to do a certain day or in your journey and sticking to it. There's so many ebbs and flows as a kicker, whether it's the day or your season, and just trusting what you do. I think that's the biggest thing he's kind of taught me. Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Rich had talked about when he met your brother, or when he was coming to the Raiders, that he'd just gotten caught, wasn't in the best headspace, I guess, is kind of the way he worded it. Do you remember that time when he he was fighting for his job, just like you were coming in?
Yeah, no, it was definitely tough, but I think that's what has made him such a great kicker now is just the testimony he has, and he's learned how to kind of battle through difficult times if he ever does, and he's had some great seasons in the past few years, but he's been through that, and so now he can trust what he's doing and trust the journey he's on.
How did you guys get into kicking? Like, how did that come to be, and you guys are so good at it?
Yeah, it's a huge blessing. A guy at our church, they needed a kicker for the high school team, and he actually came to ask for my oldest brother, Niels, and my dad said he stayed in Sweden. He was a soccer goalie, so he stayed in Sweden, and they were like, well, how about Daniel? And Daniel tried out, probably hit a 50-yarder that day or something, and the rest is kind of history. So.
Then you just followed in those footsteps, huh?
Yeah, same thing for me. I didn't join the team till sophomore year, so I was a soccer guy, and then by sophomore year I was ready to kind of make that transition.
I was going to ask you about that, Matters. Did you guys have like friendly competitions as kids, as brothers tend to do? You guys do those kind of things?
I don't think friendly, but we had competitions. Yeah, we had a basketball court outside of our house, so I was the better basketball player. He was the more physical guy, though he had the height. so those were even matches. And then, you know, my dad's a tennis coach, so a lot of tennis matches, playing soccer, whatever it was, we were always competing.
As far as kickers, I know you said you got to start late-ish. Did you guys ever, I don't know, when you're 18, 19 years old, just, hey, let's go see him kick one further, or who can make the most out of 10, or that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I think we still do it to this day. I mean, right before I got here, he was in Auburn, and most of the days we're just talking about what we're working on, and it's a little more friendly, but sometimes we're like, hey, ball for ball, let's just see who can make the most out of 5 kicks kind of thing. So.
You mentioned soccer and tennis. So who's the better performer in each of the sports when you guys would compete?
So between me and Daniel, is that?
Yeah.
You can ask my dad, but I know the answer is me. He's a fair judge, but I would say just a little more speed than Daniel, a little more awareness, but he's a great player too. He's got a mean serve in tennis too, really fast.